Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020, the album Dad AF. Rock on, Gold Dust Woman. How are you guys doing today? Happy May 1st. Are you guys ready to dive into May and see what the world of drama will bring us for the month of May? April kind of ended on a escalated note, didn't it? Some drama popped off at the end of April, so I think that May is going to heat up. I have a feeling that a lot of stuff is going to come out in May, and as someone that sits over here and covers all of that, I'm kind of excited to sit back and see what happens and give you guys my commentary. But today we're going to talk about Jacqueline Hill. And I have two different stories I want to talk about. I want to talk about kind of this whole idea of beauty influencers being calculated and putting calculated information out there and how they think through things and all of that. Because, you know, I think, and I know that people are going to say this is a total reach, okay? I know that before I got stretch for my reach, okay? But I know that people are going to say this is a total reach. But when you watch beauty influencers for a long time and you see that they kind of put something out there, they feed something out there, and then 3 or 4 days later, something comes out, right? They feed something out there and 3 or 4 days later, and then people always say, oh, it's a reach, it's a reach. Is it a reach? Is it a coincidence? Or is it more calculated than that? And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today in terms of Jacqueline Hill, because I noticed two things that I thought were very, very interesting as far as kind of feeding something out there and then let's just slam it out there. And is it for stirring up drama? Because Jacqueline is somebody that says she does not like drama. Is it to promote products? Because Jacqueline is known to only put out videos when she's going to promote a product or has a product coming out. Even though she says it's not true, she's been kind of known to do that over times. But before I get into this video, I'm going to do a little tutorial of my own getting ready for this video. I'm going to go in with the Chubby Hubby Huckleberry in level 2. I'm going to go in with that. And then I'm going to go in with the Marc Jacobs lip gloss. I don't know what level this is, but it makes my lips very shiny. Very shiny, so I love it. Anyway, all right, let's get into today's video now that I am prepared. Hold on, I need a different fan for that. I love that for you. Okay, so anyway, let's get into today's video. Let me tell you, we're gonna start with, let's start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. You guys love Sound of Music. I love Sound of Music so much. I always wanted to be Maria when I was growing up. I know that that's hard to believe. But anyway, okay. I noticed that, well, I did a video probably a week and a half ago about the fact that Jacqueline Hill had put up on her Instagram story that she had done this tutorial video and she didn't know if she should post it or not because the setting spray like ruined her look, on and on and on. And so she's like, should I refilm it for you guys, whatever. And when I went in and I did the video, I think it was like 80%, something like 80% said just post the video, right? And she waited like a day or two and then she posted the video. And the video is actually receiving really nice comments. In fact, people are noticing underneath, the reason I'm smirking, okay? Do some of you know, Jacqueline Hill's comment sections of her videos is known to be highly, highly edited. But I'm just saying speculatively, allegedly conspiracy speculations, right? But if you go underneath there, it's literally one glowing comment after another. But I will tell you that I went over to the Beauty Guru Reddit. They had actually done a thread talking about this as well. And the majority of the people over there were like, this is the Jacqueline that I signed up for. I love this tutorial. She's kind of back at being herself. And that's kind of the consistency of the comments underneath the video as well. I will go in here and I will tell you what the video is called. The video is called Simple and Easy Everyday Quarantine Makeup. And she goes in there and she just like, you know, shows this simple look that she's been doing at home. She talks about how she hasn't been wearing makeup at home a whole lot, which is consistent because she came out in an Instagram story and said she hasn't even put on makeup in like a month or something like that. But literally every single comment underneath here is just like glowing. I mean, absolutely glowing. Hold on a second, let me get into the comments and I will just read a couple of them to you. No matter how canceled or how many scandals this chick goes through, I'll always admire her capability to teach through a camera. Someone said, this comment section passed the vibe check. Everyone is so uplifting. This is why Jaclyn is still so loved. She is the best at explaining what she's doing and why. Doesn't mean she's always right. Doesn't mean makeup artists wouldn't critique her techniques. But no one can deny she's a great teacher. You know, I have had many friends of mine in the real world. That means people that don't watch YouTube regularly, but they watch a few people. And they're real into makeup and things like that. Many people have told me that they really, really like Jacqueline Hill, and that Jaclyn is somebody that they have followed for a very long time. I've mentioned this in videos before. And the reason why is because she's somebody that's self-taught, and they can follow her tutorials and all of that kind of stuff, and so they really have trusted her through the years. And I think that that is the thing with Jaclyn, is why so many people have lost favor with her, so to say, whatever, is because she became a saleswoman instead of becoming just a makeup artist. You know, and I was kind of thinking about this when I was watching Instant Influencer, which probably is already out. The next episode, I haven't watched it yet today. But I was thinking about this when I was watching Instant Influencer with the James Charles show, which I really enjoyed. I will say I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done, and it was a fun show to watch, and I'm going to watch the rest of it. But the whole idea of it just being about being an influencer, you know, I think that's, to me, the kind of sad part of all of this, is that, you know, 10 years ago when YouTube started and the beauty industry got really big on YouTube, it was about makeup artists showing their techniques. It was about makeup artists doing tutorials or showing products that they liked. And there's still many of them that do that. But so much of it is about just being an influencer these days, just selling products, right? That really everybody just wants to get on YouTube, get a huge following so that they can just like sell all these products left and right. And I don't, like, listen, get your coin, okay? But at the same time, I think that most of the people that follow Jaclyn from the very beginning were because they were just like everyday people like Jaclyn. They could relate to her. And I think that's the thing that now like burns her a little bit sometimes, is that Jaclyn tries so hard to be relatable, and she's not on some level, you know, when she's showing all of these like high-end bags. And I mean, it's what people want to some degree on a luxury end, but they can't. And so she's kind of unrelatable. But she is when she's like laying in bed and, you know, she's doing coloring books and she's eating chips and all this kind of stuff, which food we're going to get to in just a second, discussion of food. So I think like her relatability has always been Jaclyn's selling point. So the fact that she comes into this video and she does a very simple look that everybody can relate to, because not a lot of people are putting on makeup during quarantine, I think was genius, okay? Now, here's what's interesting. She feeds this video out on Instagram. She even has a poll where she asks people, should she refilm it or should she I split a sheet of shit. I split a sheet of shit. Friendly. My dad used to always have me say that back in the day. Have you ever heard that? Anyway, he would say this 5 times fast, say this 5 times fast. So anyway, she fed this out, okay? And she even fed out that her setting spray ruined her look, okay? So before anybody even goes in to watch this video, they know that the setting spray, I mean, we're waiting for the setting spray. She should have called the video, "My setting spray ruined my look." But why couldn't she do that? Because she feeds out in the video, yes, she's got her own setting spray coming out. And when I watched this, I was like, oh, now it makes sense. Now I get it. Now I understand, okay, why all the hype about the setting spray, because you've got your own setting spray coming out. So she goes in there and the setting spray ruins her look, which, okay, by the way, Raw Beauty Christie, the same thing had just happened to her like 2 days before, okay? So Jaclyn goes in and she talks about this dewy mist spray and how it ruins her look and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, look how oily I am, look how dewy I am and all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of like, well, I mean, you look dewy, but you don't look as highlighted as you usually do. So I don't know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But anyway, so she goes in there and she talks about how this ruins it. But like, there's like probably a 10-second clip right before all this, okay, where she says, you know, like, I'm working on my own setting spray, and she's like, she says something about, like, oh, bitch, like hinting at it is going to be the most magical spray. Remember about the lipsticks. Remember about the lipsticks, okay? These lipsticks were going to be the lipsticks to end all lipsticks. And this is the thing, okay, is that Jaclyn, whenever she's coming out with a product, and it's a good business move. I mean, everybody does it, right? But just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean that you should. But you shouldn't come out and say your product's going to be a piece of SHI check. You shouldn't, right? But she always comes out and is like, oh my God. It's like all of them, you know, like James Charles and all of them. I mean, like Jeffree Star is the same thing. It's like, this pink is the pink to end all pinks, you know? It's like, give me a break, okay? I have seen finer pinks in phone booths. I'm just saying, all right? So anyway, So she goes in, and I am really surprised reading the comment sections that nobody else caught this. When I was literally sent like 30 DMs from people saying, the only reason she brought attention to the setting spray in this video and the setting spray on the Instagram story was because she's coming out with her own setting spray. So get people talking about setting spray, right? It's a smart business move. Jaclyn's not stupid. She knows what she's doing, okay? Very calculated move, okay? She goes in there. There were other products in there that she didn't love. She didn't go into an Instagram story and say, well, this didn't work for me or that. And what's interesting to me is at the end, she talks about the setting spray, but it's not like she goes, this ruined my entire look. I mean, she kind of says it a little bit, but she doesn't say it ruined my whole look. She's not like, this is like, you know. So it's like she made more out of it than it was. And I'm like, okay, so here's one little thing that you put out there, you feed it out, whatever. Is this a pattern for Jaclyn? Well, it has been in the past, okay? So then I go in and I noticed that she tweeted this out. And I was like, where is this coming from? Okay, I have no idea why she is tweeting this out. So, because she tweets out very, very rarely anymore. Like, let me just go in here really quick, because I was just looking at her tweeter. Don't call and stick with the tweets. So, her pinned tweet is about having her palette leaked. And then she goes in 5 days ago, she tweeted 2 different things. 3 things she tweeted 5 days ago. Then 4/21, then 4/19, then 3/10, because she had taken her break from social media and all that kind of stuff. So she tweeted out on 5 days ago, right here. This was on 4/26. What's something that drives you crazy? I have several things, but I think that my number one is wasting food. It pains me to throw food away. It pains me to throw food away. Or when people overorder and then don't even take the food home or give it to someone. Oh man. And I thought it was like such a random tweet. I was like, why is she, like, this is interesting. And she goes in there and she talks about other things. She talks about cheating and some other things, right? But it was interesting to me, like she responds to some of the people in the thread, that out of the blue, out of all the things that Jaclyn could tweet, like this is the one thing that she randomly chooses to tweet. Okay, and then yesterday, on her Instagram story, it all made sense. Now, I didn't record the whole video of this. It's like, it was very, very short, but I did take 2 quick pictures. So Jaclyn posts, hold on a second, I'm gonna show you. She posts this, like, here's one little part of it. She's got this whole area of all this stuff, and she's pointing into it, and she's like, I'm giving all this stuff away to friends and family. And so here's, like, part of it. She's got, like, you know, some different oils, and then she's got these chips and stuff like that, and she's pointing to it, and she holds it up, and she says in there, like, the reason I'm giving this away is because it's going to expire, and we're not going to eat it, and we already have more of it. She goes and she explains the whole thing, right? Okay. So then she goes in, and here, this is just absolute gold right here. She puts this up, and she shows that somebody had sent her a message and says, oh my God, donate it to local shelters or to people who are in need of food. Everyone knows your family is not starving and not getting paid during this awful time. Of which she responds publicly, okay, takes a DM, and she puts it on her Instagram story, and she responds to it publicly, and she says, to the people who are sending me DMs like this, I donate money, food, clothing, accessories, makeup, etc. on a weekly basis. Please understand that just because people don't talk about their good deeds doesn't mean they aren't doing them. You just told the world you're doing it, okay? This is what kills me. You just told the world that you're doing it, okay? So when you say that just because people aren't doing it, okay, which is called altruism, I talk about it on my vlog every single night at the end of my... hair hanging off my eye. At the end of my vlog, every single night, I say in there, okay? After I say, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. After I say, reach out to somebody today and just let them know how much they mean to you, okay? After that, I say, do random acts of kindness and don't tell anyone, right? The reason that we do that is just to put good out there in the world, to be a compassionate human being, right? Altruism is the act of doing good and not telling anybody about it. It's like going through Starbucks, right? And buying somebody's coffee behind you and wanting to tell the world that you did it, but no, you just do it because it's a nice thing. You're putting good out there in the world, okay? We don't have to tell anybody that we do that. It kills me every single time I see one of these influencers, like, retweeting all of their own good deeds. I'm like, okay, I think it's very nice what you're doing, and I'm not criticizing that, but what's the need to draw attention to it? Is it like, look at me, I'm a good person, look at me, I'm a great person? There was no need for her to address this, okay? She already knew she was gonna get flack for it. So what's interesting to me though is, okay, unless she was organizing food 5 days ago, which she probably was, but like the fact that 5 days ago she says the thing that I hate the most is that people that waste and throw away food. Then she comes out and she shows all the stuff that she's going to give away, okay, the majority of which is like food and things like that. And then she addresses it publicly. So it's like creating this whole, I don't know, the whole thing was very, very interesting to me. It's like she almost kind of thought it out in advance, you know, that I know I'm going to get crap for this, so I'm going to put this tweet out, and then when I put this tweet out, it will cover my, you know, my, whatever that I'm doing, and then when people come for me, I'll just, you know, publicly. But it's like, why are you bringing this attention to yourself in the whole moment of nothing really in the world is going on, you know? So, like, why do you need to cause any kind of drama? Unless it is about a product that is coming out real soon that I'm sure she's been working on. Hold on a second, let me get this, the right fan, which I'm sure she's been working on for 3 years. I'm just saying, okay, all of a sudden she's going to come out and her next video is going to be my most fantastic, fabulous setting spray that everybody has to have in the entire world. Jaclyn, if you don't want to be criticized, okay, for the fact that you always talk about the product, even in the video, she says that I usually use the Morphe setting spray, but today I'm going to use something different. Okay. Well, and then she goes in and says she uses these dewy mists and all this kind of stuff. So do you always use the Morphe, or do you just have to get the Morphe thing in there, right? Okay, because she can't let go of the whole Morphe thing. People have criticized Jaclyn for the Morphe Association. People have criticized Jaclyn for touting her own products and always coming out and saying, I've got a product coming out, I've got a product coming out. And yet again, even though this wasn't the majority of the video, she comes out and she talks about a product coming out again around this whole issue of the thing. Then she stirs up drama with the food. I don't understand it. Like, if you don't like drama, stay out of drama. It's really just that simple. And you know, the thing that is really sad to me is that when I watch all this, it's like Jaclyn could really turn her career around and people could fall and like even double her numbers if she wanted to. If she would go back to doing, like right now, especially right now, when so many people are getting criticized for causing drama and products and all, and coming out with palette after palette after palette and all this kind of stuff, right? First of all, I'm not really sure that right now when nobody has any money is a great time to be like discussing having products coming out or God forbid new merch and all that kind of stuff, right? You know, like Shane Dawson has all this new merch out and I went and looked and I don't think any of it sold out. I mean, because people don't have the money to buy that stuff right now, right? So it's like, you know, this is not the time to be talking about new products that you have probably coming out. I don't know that everybody's going to be reaching, you know, into their piggy banks to buy Jaclyn's setting spray. I'm just saying, okay? I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. If they are, I love that for you. But I don't know, right? But Jaclyn could come out and she could do 2 to 3 tutorials a week. This is how she got her channel started. She loved doing tutorials back in the day. She could come out and do 2 to 3 tutorials a week, right? Just real basic tutorials of people that want to do. She could go back and she could recreate looks that she did 10 years ago and say, like, this is what I've learned since then. Let me create upon that. Let me pick out 3 looks that I've done, and going forward, I'm going to do 3 videos a week recreating old videos. Some people would love that stuff, you know? Or like I've always said, I don't understand why they can't go in and pick out a smaller creator and recreate their look, and then they're shouting out the smaller creator, and they're gaining new subscribers, and people are loving it because they're doing a really good thing. And you don't have to talk about your products, and you don't talk about that, right? And people will fall in love with you again. Then when you have a product when you have a product that's coming out, it's natural because you're like, oh, by the way, I've been working on this, okay? Yes, I put out 20 videos in between my last product launch and this one. So yeah, I'm really into doing the things. You know, there's a lot of makeup gurus out there that in between having their products launched, they talk a lot about other things and they do other videos and whatever. So I think Jaclyn's going to have to get back to that. Or I don't think that this business of hers that she wants is ever going to take off. I really don't. Like, at some point, people are going to be like, you literally, I mean, so many people say it now anyway. She's going to lose even more fans if she continues this way. The only time I put out products, or the only time I make videos is when I put out a product. So, you know, she did a video with her boyfriend, which I loved that video, and I came out and said that. I thought that that was a fantastic video. I think for her to do more of that, but she can't put out a video a month. You just can't, Jaclyn. To sustain any kind of following on YouTube at this point, when there are so many beauty influencers out there, you have to stay active. You have to stay relevant to people. And one of the ways that you stay relevant is by continuing to be active and putting information out there and talking to people, okay? Yes, you're going to keep your long-term fans, but if you want to gain new ones and you want to get people excited about what you're doing, you have to continue to put new things out there. So anyway, I don't know. Let me know what you think about all of that. Put it in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.